Good morning, students. Today we will discuss our first chapter, History, class 9th. In this chapter, we will discuss French Revolution. Revolution started in 1789. The series of events started by the middle class shocked the upper classes. The people revolted against the cruel regime of monarchy. This revolution put forward the idea of liberty, fraternity, and equality. The revolution began on 14 July 1789 with the storming of the fortress prison, the Bastille. The Bastille was hated by all because it stood for the despotic power of the king. The fortress was demolished. Causes of the French Revolution: social inequality. French society in the 18th century was divided into three states, namely the clergy, the nobility, and the third state. First two state, that is the clergy and the nobility, enjoyed certain privileges by the birth. They were exempt from the paying taxes. The third state comprised of businessmen, merchants, peasants and artisans. Laborers had to pay taxes to the state. Political cause. Long years of war had drained the financial resources of France. France has a debt of more than 2 million livres. To meet its regular expenses, such as the cost of maintaining an army, the court, running government offices, or universities, the state was forced to increase taxes with agreed the people. Economic problems. The population of France also increased from 23 million in 1715 to 28 million in 1789. Food grains were now in a great demand. The price of bread shot up. Wages did not keep pace with rising price. This led to subsistence crisis. Strong middle class. A new middle class emerged, educated and wealthy during the 18th century. They believed that no group in society should be given privileges by birth. Ideas of equality and freedom were put forward by the philosophers. The ideas of these philosophers were discussed intensively in saloons and coffee houses and spread among people. Immediate causes. On 5th May 1789, Louis XVI called together an assembly of a state journal to pass proposal for new taxes. Third state protested against the proposal, but as each state had one vote, the king rejected this appeal. They walk out of the assembly. The outbreak of the French Revolution. Louis XVI called an assembly of the state journal to pass his proposal to increase taxes on 5th May 1789. The first and the second state sent 300 representatives each, which was seated in rows facing each other on two sides, while the 600 members of the third estate had to stand at the back. The third estate was represented by its more prosperous and educated members. Only while peasants, artisans and women were denied entry to the assembly. Voting in the States Journal in the past had been conducted according to the principles that each state had one vote, and same practice to be continued this time. But members of the third estate demanded individual voting rights, where each member would have one vote. After rejection of this proposal by the king, members of the third estate walked out of the assembly in protest. On 20th June, the representatives of the third estate assembled in the hall of an indoor tennis court in the ground of Versailles, where they declared themselves at the National Assembly and the votes to draft a constitution for France that would limit the power of the monarch. The third estate was led by Mirabeau, a noble, and a Abbessius, a priest, while the National Assembly was busy at Versailles drafting a constitution. The rest of France was in trouble. Several winters destroyed the food crops, which resulted in increase in the price. The bankers also hoard supplies of breads for making greater profit. After spending hours in long queues at the bakery, crowds of angry women stormed into the shops. At the same time, the king ordered troops to move into Paris. On 14th July, the agitated crowd stormed and destroyed the Bastille. In the countryside, rumors spread from villages to villages that the lord of the manor were on their way to destroy the ripened crops through their hired gangs. Due to fear, peasants in several districts attacked the castle of nobles, looted hoard grains, and burned down documents containing records of mayoral dues. Large numbers of nobles fled from their homes and many migrated to neighboring countries. Louis XVI finally recognized the National Assembly and accepted the Constitution. On 4th August 1789, France passed the law for abolishing the federal system of obligations and taxes. The members of clergy were also forced to give up their privileges. Tithes were abolished and lands owned by the churches were confiscated. France became a constitutional monarchy. The National Assembly completed the draft of the Constitution in 1791. Aiming to limit the power of the monarchy, the powers were now spread and agitated to different institutions: the legislature, executive, and judiciary, which made France a constitutional monarchy. The Constitution of 1791 gave the power of making laws in the hands of National Assembly, which was directly elected by a group of electors, which were chosen by active citizens. Active citizens comprised of only men above 25 years of age who paid taxes equal to at least 3 years of a laborer's wages. The remaining men and all women were classed as passive citizens who had no voting rights. France abolishes monarchy and becomes a republic. Louis XVI had signed the constitution, but he entered into secret negotiations with the king of Persia. Rulers of other neighboring countries too were worried by the developments in France and made plans to send troops to stop the revolutions. Events taking place. Before this could happen, the National Assembly voted in April 1792 to declare war against Persia and Austria. Thousands of volunteers joined the army from the provinces to join the army. People saw this war was as a war of the people against king and as aristocracies all over Europe. The revolutionaries was brought losses and economic difficulties to the people. The Constitution of 1791 gave political rights only to the richer section of society. Political clubs were established by the people who wished to discuss government policies and plans, their own form of action. The most successful of these clubs was that of the Jacobins. The members of the Jacobin club belonged mainly to the less prosperous sections of society. These leaders were Maximilian. Jacobins started wearing long striped trousers and came to be known as the Saint Curls, literally meaning those without knee breeches. In the summer of 1792, the Jacobins planned a revolt of a large number of the people of Paris who were angered by the short supply of high price of food. A women revolution. From the very beginning, women were active participated in events which brought about so many changes in the French society. Most women in the third estate had to work for a living. Their wages were lower than those of men. In order to discuss the voice their interests, women started their own political clubs and newspapers. One of their main demands was the women must enjoy the same political rights as men. Some laws were introduced to improve the position of women. Their struggle still continues in several parts of the world. It was finally in 1946 that women in France won the right to vote. Women were disappointed that the Constitution of 1791 reduces them to passive citizens. They demanded the right to vote, to be elected to the assembly, and to hold political office. The revolutionary government did introduce laws that happen prove the lives of women. By certain of these schools, schooling was made compulsory for the girls. Their fathers could not longer force them into marriage against their will. Divorce were made legal and could be applied for by both men and women. Women could now train for jobs, could become artisans and run small business. It was finally in 1946 that women in France won the right to vote. The abolition of slavery. The unwillingness of Europeans to go and work in the colonies in the Caribbean, which were important supplies of commodities such as tobacco, indigo, sugar, and coffee, created a shortage of labor in the plantation. Thus, the slave trade began in the 17th century. French merchants sailed from their ports to the African coast, where they brought slaves from local brands and the shackles. The slaves were packed tightly into ships for 3 months long work across the Atlantic to the Caribbean. There they were sold to plantation owners. The exploitation of slaves' labor made it possible to meet the growing demands in Europe markets for sugar, coffee, and indigo. The National Assembly held long debates for about whether the rights of man should be extended to all French subjects, including those in the colonies. But it did not pay any laws, fearing opposition from businessmen whose income depended on the slave trade. Jacobin regime in 1794 abolished slavery in the French colonies. However, 10 years later, Napoleon reintroduced slavery. Slavery was finally abolished in French colonies in 1848. Democratic rights we enjoy today, those origins could be traced to the French Revolution. We can trace the origin of the following democratic rights we enjoy today to the French Revolution: right to equality before law, freedom of speech and expression, right against exploitation, and right to justice. Legacy of the French Revolution. The idea of liberty and democratic rights were the most important legacy of the French Revolution. These spread from France to the rest of Europe during the 19th century, where federal systems were abolished. Later, these ideas were adopted by Indian democracy strugglers like Tipu Sultan and Ram Mohan Roy. So students, with this we have come to end of this chapter. If you have any problem, let me know. Take care, stay home, stay safe.